Hey everyone, welcome back to Stock Investing and Trading 101. Today, due to popular demand, we're going to be doing a ThinkorSwim basic informational where I pretty much tell you guys or show you guys if you aren't familiar with ThinkorSwim or maybe you've never used it. Just a brief introduction showing you guys kind of how to set it up, different features, different tools they have, and just kind of giving you guys a quick intro. For anybody who doesn't know, ThinkorSwim is a charting platform. You can use this to pretty much trade stocks, options, futures, whatever you're into. They have Forex, and they have just a bunch of tools to go with that. I think their main thing that they're known for is their charts. So in this example, you can pretty much type in any stock. Let's say you want to trade Tesla. You can type Tesla in, and you'll pull up a stock chart. So this is the charting feature, and I think it's pretty much what they're known for, but they also have a lot of other cool things. So I guess the first one that I'll be showing you guys is, firstly, they have a section here which is called Gadgets, and it starts with usually like a watch list, so you can have your own watch list. But if you click here to switch gadget, they have a number of other things. They have a calendar, level 2, which is very important. I have a video dedicated to level 2 if you're interested in that. They have market depth, different screeners. They have little games like Tetris and stuff, which isn't very important. Time and sales, which goes with level 2, very important information. They also have use the news, which is like news articles that come out, usually get posted there very quickly. And lastly, they have Trader TV, which is pretty cool. You can watch like CNBC, or they have their own network, which is like a traders network, and just kind of, get information and other things like that. You're definitely going to want to set up a watch list, so that's one of the features, and you can create separate watch lists of all the stocks that you trade or that you're interested in watching and following. So that's the gadgets feature. Moving into their charting features, which is what I'm sure most of you are interested in using them for. The charting features are a little bit more complicated. There is a bunch of uh, different features, and there's just a lot of different ways you can do it. The first one is the chart settings. This is what I would start with because there's a number of things that you should, or that I like to instantly set up right away because I think they're very important. The first one I like to do is overlap volume. So if you'll see here where my mouse is, these blue lines, this is the volume. This tells you how much stock volume was traded each day on the stock. But when you overlap the volume, it moves the volume up into the same category as the chart, and it just, I like to have it this way. The next thing I like to do is where it says snap drawings. You can click OHLC. This is open, high, low, close, and I'll show you what this does. So when you are drawing a trend line, which to do that, you can click drawings, drawing tools, and trend line. When you're clicking a trend line, if you don't have open, high, low, close on, which I'll change it back to default, what happens is you try to, let's say you want to chart this trend line here, matching the high point to the high point. You would click pretty much where you want the trend line to go, and it would happen exactly where you click. So to get this exact point on the candle, you want the exact high. You don't want, something close. You want it exactly. Pretty much you'd have to zoom in and, find the exact point, and maybe you get it, maybe you don't. But what this does when you do open, high, low, close, whenever you draw a trend line, it will snap to either the high, which is the high point of this candle here, and it'll do the same thing. If you'll see, the line is snapping right to the high point. You can also do it to the low point and um, the median right here. So that's what that open, high, low, close is. There's 4 different points on the candle you can snap it to, and typically that's where you would want them to go anyway. So it just easier that way in my opinion. You can also set up just the appearance and things like that, but those are 2 things that I definitely like to do right away. The rest you can kind of configure to your own settings. They also have different time frames. So looking at a stock chart, we're looking at the SPYG. This is the daily time frame. You'll see it says D right here. This is the time frame button where you can change time frames. And what this time frame means is that each one of these candles represents one day. And it is a 1 year, 1 day chart. So this entire chart represents 1 year, and each candle represents 1 day. If you change it to a 1 day, 1 minute chart, it means the exact opposite. This entire chart is 1 day of trading activity, and each one of these candles here represents 1 minute of trading activity. So you can adjust this time frames in the trading settings. However, it does usually come with these as the defaults, which are, these are pretty much the most popular time frames. But if you like a certain customizable time frame, you can add that here. So that's pretty much the gist of the chart settings. Next, I'll go through this bar here because it's pretty important. This is kind of all the studies and things you can do to your chart to customize it even further. The first one I'll start with is the Studies button here. The Studies button allows you to add different technical indicators like the MACD. I'm sure everyone has heard of MACD. Let's say you want to add the VWAP and maybe the RSI. These are a few of the most popular indicators. You do that in the Studies button right here. Click Apply, and you can see we added all of these cool technical indicators and lines to our chart. And I can make a video explaining each one because there is a lot of complex, things going on here if you're a beginner. But I just kind of want to show you guys how to do that so that you can at least add the RSI to your chart, even if you don't know what it is yet. That way you can, study and develop those skills even further. You can also add different technical indicators like breakouts and triangles and things like that, but that's a little bit more in-depth, and to be honest, I don't use this all too often. And then you can create sets as well, which is different combinations of studies. So let's say you wanted to have this set here, which is the VWAP with the MACD and the RSI. You could save that as a set, and we'll call that, basic set. So this is just kind of when we want this look on our chart. But you could also make another separate set using, let's say you wanted to use moving averages, so you could add the EMA. You could pretty much add whatever you wanted. You could add Bollinger Bands and create separate sets that way. So, this is what it would look like if you just had the Bollinger Bands, and you could save this as a set. So that's pretty much what the studies are all about. We've already talked about the time frame here. The style, you can adjust how the candles look. Some people like the basic candles, some people like bar charts, and you can do that here. I think this is very important here, the drawing tools. This is going to be something you're using probably the most on this whole bar here. So the drawing tools is where you can get different tools. You have your trend line, you have your price level, so would be support and resistance lines. For example, we would have a resistance point right here, and you could just quickly add that line. So this is how you would do that in the drawings tools. You also have trend lines, which I talked about before, so you could draw trend lines from the high points and connect the high points, and this is how you would draw some of those lines. You can also adjust the color of the lines if you want by clicking the lines. You can edit the properties and make it thicker, you can make it a different color, you can change the exact price that it's at. So that's how you would do that. They also have more in-depth things like the Fibonacci retracements and extensions. I've made a video talking about these. These are some more complicated tools that you can use to help your day trading go even further. Next we have studies again, and patterns is the last thing. Patterns is a little bit more technical, where you can add different patterns like wedges, triangles, cup and handles. whatever, patterns you like to trade, that's where you can do that. Looking up here, you can click the monitor button. This pretty much shows you all of your positions. The trade button is where you can trade options, forex, futures, and also active trader. So let's say you wanted to trade the VIX options. You could just type in VIX, go to all products, and this is the options chain. So this is how you access the options chain. The forex trader is where you can trade all of your forex currency pairs. Futures, you can click this and it brings up a good amount of the futures contracts. So that is how you do that. Here's some of the futures contracts. Analyze is a very cool tool where you can simulate trades and graph risk profiles. It's a little bit more complicated than just charting a stock because you have to understand trades, and but using these tools you can actually simulate trades before you enter the position. You could look and see, like, if you were buying an option, you would see exactly where the stock would have to go for it to become profitable, and it can just help explain trades further to you. If you don't understand what you're trading, this could actually be a very interesting tool for you because it would pretty much tell you what has to happen for you to make money or how much you'll lose if this doesn't happen. They have the scanning tool where you can create custom scans. You can create a scan for pretty much anything at the most volume for the day, the lowest PE ratio, you know, add in market cap, add in dividends. You can pretty much create a screener for anything. This is very interesting as well. Then you have Market Watch, which you can kind of, get different quotes and different things for different stocks and indices. Your charts option, which we've just gone through all of the tools on the charting options, and this is how you look at your charts specifically. Then you have tools, which I don't really use too often, but you can kind of go through your logs and stuff like that. They also have educational, which I don't really use as well, but I'm sure they do have some good information if you're looking at, learning more about a specific topic such as futures, forex, pretty much all of the above here. You can learn a lot more about it using this tool. And that's pretty much the basics for TD Ameritrade and ThinkorSwim. They have a different amount of widgets here. It's mainly a charting platform, but the charting, there's different things involved, such as studies, drawings, indicators, things like that. And then to trade a specific, currency or stock, you would just click on trade, click on all products, and you can pretty much, find, if you want to just trade the S&P 500, you would just type in, SPY, and you can trade the options here, or you can buy the stock just by clicking the, right-clicking the quote right here and clicking buy or sell, and you can kind of enter your order. If you want to buy one share, you would do +1, type in your limit price, and then confirm your order, and that's how you would get filled. So that's it, guys. I didn't want to drag this on for too long. I think that's the basics of ThinkorSwim. There's a lot of good information that if you dig even deeper into some of the things that I've showed you guys and learn more how to use these tools, I think it would be a great start. So as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, comment below, let me know what you guys want to see, and we'll talk to you guys soon.